Okay, we are now live.
Thank you. I will now call this meeting to order and we'll read the land acknowledgement statement. We acknowledge with respect the history, spirituality, and culture of the Anishinaabeg, the people of the Three Fires known as Ojibwe, Odawa, and Potawatomi Nation, who have inhabited this land from time immemorial. And further give thanks to the Chippewas of Saugeen and the Chippewas of Nawash, now known as the Saugeen Ojibwe Nation, as the traditional keepers of this land. We also recognize the Métis and the Inuit, whose ancestors shared this land and these waters. May we all, as treaty people, live with respect on this land and live in peace and friendship with all its diverse peoples. Would any member like to make any additions to the agenda? Could I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Barfoot, Councillor Pringle. I move that the agenda be approved as amended. I will call the vote. All in favor? Thank you. That is carried. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest? If there are at any time in the meeting, you may declare. The minutes of the previous meeting, which was September 14th, 2021. I am going to comment there that I am listed as being absent at that meeting and was actually present. So the recommendation is that the minutes of the Committee of Adjustment meeting held on September 14th, 2021 be adopted as amended. Is there any discussion? Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Coburn, Councillor Pringle, and I will call the vote. All in favor? Carried. Thank you. So under new business, new applications, there's a severance application B0821 for Bell Canada at 10171 Highway 6. This is a meeting of the Committee of Adjustment to consider the application for consent for Bell Canada under Section 53 of the Planning Act regarding property legally described as Part Lot 1, Concession 21, Keppel, being Part 1 on 16R 1879. Would the Secretary Treasurer please give their report?
Thank you, Chair. There has been no request for deferral or withdrawal of the application. Notice of this consent in accordance with Ontario Regulation 197-96 made under the Planning Act was given on July 15th, 2021 by ordinary mail to all property owners within 60 meters of the property, which is subject to the application, and to all the required agencies. Notice was also posted on the subject lands and the township's website. If you wish to be notified of the decision of the Committee of Adjustment, you must make a written request to the Secretary Treasurer of the Committee. Only a person or public body that requests a notice of decision to the Committee in respect to this proposed consent may submit an appeal.
Thank you. Could the planner give us the updated planning report regarding this file?
Yes, so this application is proposing a registered easement approximately 155 meters long by 8.5 meters deep. The proposed easement would be in favor of Bell Canada, and it's necessary to access the existing underground telecommunications infrastructure. This is a case where Bell Canada had a previous 21-year less-a-day easement, which is set to expire. So to avoid any future expiries or lapses, Bell has negotiated with the current property owner to grant a new easement in perpetuity through the consent process. So the property is located at 10171 Highway 6 south of Wyerton. The Grey County official plan designation is primarily space extensive industrial and commercial. There's a small amount of Niagara Escarpment Plan area, as well as hazard lands, which are located outside of the proposed easement area. The Grey County official plan speaks to utilities infrastructure, supporting high-quality telecommunications services, intake protection zones, and compatibility guidelines between sensitive uses and wastewater facilities. A review of these sections is detailed in the planning report. However, consistency with these policies has been demonstrated. The official plan also speaks to the requirement for development proposed adjacent to a provincial highway to be subject to MTO approval. At this time, formal comments have not been received from the MTO. Therefore, consistency with the official plan policy and the provincial policy statement can't be demonstrated. MTO has indicated they're supportive of the proposal and that formal comments are pending. The township zoning bylaw zones the property as C4, Highway Commercial and Niagara Escarpment Commission. The easement doesn't create any conflict with the provisions of the zoning bylaw, and the zoning bylaw permits the use of any lot for the purposes of public use by any telephone, telegraph, or cable television company that holds necessary powers, rates, licenses, and franchises. Full review of the provincial policy statement policies is also outlined in the planning report. I won't go through it all in detail. So in terms of comments that were received from Grey County Planning, they've noted that provided D2 guidelines have been met and minimal disruption would occur to existing land uses, county staff have no concerns. In response, I note that the D2 guidelines apply to sensitive uses adjacent to wastewater facilities. However, the proposed easement doesn't present any kind of sensitive use, and therefore the proposal meets the intent of these guidelines. In addition, no new development is being proposed at this time, so minimal disruption is expected. The Risk Management Office indicated that no policies apply to the activities identified in the application. The Grey Sauble Conservation Authority has noted no objections, and Saugeen Ojibwe Nation has no comments. Niagara Escarpment Commission also has no concerns or objections. Finally, no public comments were received as a result of circulation. So to conclude, staff's recommendation at this time is that committee receive the report for information as formal MTO comments remain outstanding.
Okay, thank you. So no members of the public registered with the clerk to provide comments in support of or in opposition to the application. Are there any points raised by the applicant, committee, or public that anyone wishes to reply to? And I know we have Sarah Gowland with us. Is there any comment you would like to make, Sarah?
No, it's all good. The only thing that I would correct Chloe is it's aerial facilities, not buried. It's just a pole line. So that's the only thing.
Thank you. Okay. So I now call for a motion on the decision that report PL 2021.36 for B0821 for Bell Canada be received for information purposes. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Councillor Coburn, Councillor Pringle, all in favor? That motion is carried. I now call for an adjournment for this hearing. If I could have Councillor Barfoot as mover, Councillor Coburn as seconder, I will call the vote. All in favor? Thank you. That is carried. Is there any unfinished business? Seeing none, the date of the next regular meeting will be November 16th, 2021 at 5 p.m. If I could have a motion to adjourn, please. Councillor Pringle, Councillor Coburn. All in favor? Carried. Thank you very much, everyone.